And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's edition of Biz Talks. My name is Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with ZIJA International, and it's my privilege to be the host tonight. Very excited about this evening's broadcast. In a couple of minutes, I'm going to be bringing over my guest. Some of you that, maybe you got, the posting on Facebook, or you're part of the email list, you got the heads up. Dee Dee Shaw, one of Zija's most recognized diamonds, is going to be with us this evening, and you are going to want to take notes. I'm going to encourage you, but especially for those of you that have been working with us for a while, grab your journal. You're going to want to take some notes here, because we've got a part-time diamond distributor, homeschooling mom. She's got several children at home, homeschools them, runs, the family farm with goats and chickens and horses and all that kind of stuff, and has still managed to be right at the top of the leaderboard right now with Zija International. So very, very excited to have Dee Dee as my guest. But what I want to do first, just to kind of get things going, I want to welcome all of you that have attended this evening, or maybe you were directed to the video recording from on the YouTube channel that we'll be posting here in a little bit. In particular, those of you that are invited guests, because this evening's broadcast is really for you. Perhaps you were invited by a friend, maybe a family member, maybe a coworker that's been sharing with you a little bit about the concept of creating an additional income stream, being able to build a residual income stream and do it around, your full-time occupation, the family, whatever it is that your life is involved with, in this whole concept of a home-based business arena. And so in particular, I want to address those of you that are invited guests. And tonight what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about the characteristics of a company that would be worth your focus, your attention, to take a look at, in terms of creating that make a living from home kind of a program. I want to identify a few specific things that you would want to look at, and then I want to give you an opportunity to hear what happens when people actually take action, actually get involved in our system. Because this type of business, work from home, create residual income, this was something I was exposed to well over 30 years ago. I used to be a cross-country truck driver. I'd been doing that for a number of years, and I really loved my job. I fit truck driving like ducks take to water. However, in the mid-'80s, my older boy was hitting school age, had a lot of educational challenges. The school district just wasn't going to provide the resources. And so it was left to me to find a way to create a significantly above average income so I could pay for those resources, but to also be able to have the time freedom, the flexibility in my day-to-day and, hour-to-hour schedule to be with him. And, quite frankly, they were not offering any six-figure income positions with a flexible schedule to truck drivers. At least they weren't offering it to me. And so what I found was this concept of building a home-based business. Some people call it person-to-person marketing, network marketing, relationship marketing. There's a lot of terms that have been developed over the years. But I really got the concept. It made so much sense to me. Now, I was very fortunate that literally in a decade, in 10 years, by the time I hit my mid-40s, I'd already been able to retire. That did not happen by accident, but I learned several things that, had I known back then, would have been the criteria I would have looked for as far as getting involved in the company. So let me read those off to you real quick. Zija International is my third home-based business opportunity. I actually, as I said, I retired after 10 years, and then I spent a decade doing all the things people dream about, being able to have the time and the financial resources to travel, to do the things that I wanted to do, to care for my family. I got to be a stay-at-home grandpa for 6 years. That was an incredible opportunity. And then I moved back home to the family home to care for my elderly mother. And that's when I was introduced to this company. And the reason it took me 10 years to re-enter the home-based business arena was because I was waiting to find a company like Zija International. The criteria I looked at, number one, I looked for corporate leadership, the people that run the company, because that's critical. I looked for experienced corporate leadership. More importantly, I looked for successful experience in corporate leadership, and I had to understand why somebody would do this. The owner of Zija International is a man by the name of Ken Brailsford. Now, you may not recognize Ken's name, but you already know who he is. Ken is known as the father of encapsulation. He was one of the first people to take the little gel caps we're all familiar with now. All of our supplements come in those little gel caps. He was the first person to take medicinal herbs, encapsulate them, and make it easier for the average person to receive the benefits of those medicinal herbs. Ken started his very first company in the early 70s. You might recognize the name. It's Nature's Sunshine. That company has now been in business well over 40 years. It has done billions of dollars in cumulative sales over that time, and it represents one of about 24 companies in the history of network marketing that have become the long-term, multi-decade, multi-generational income opportunities. Now, Ken in the 80s, in the mid-80s, started his second company. You may recognize that company as well. That company was Enrich International. It now continues under the name of Unicity, over 30 years in business, billions of dollars in sales, and Ken has become the only person in the history of this profession to build two of those approximately 24 long-term legacy companies. Now, when I heard that Ken Brailsford had come out of retirement to start his third company, frankly, that's all I needed to know that I wanted to be part of this company. Now, the corporate leadership is certainly, from my perspective, the most important ingredient. Now, the second thing I looked at, because let's face it, you know, if you're going to build a long-term business, it's got to be on the firm foundation of the products or services you market. And I looked at products. I always looked for products that, you know, number one, were first to market, you know, cutting edge. You know, it's great to be the first people doing it. I look for products that were highly consumable. Ideally, something that people would consume on a daily basis, reorder on a monthly basis, because that kept an ongoing revenue flow through the pay plan. But the most important of those things, the third thing, was they had to really work. See, this is something a lot of people don't get. So many people promote a home-based business with the excitement intensity of you can make a lot of money. Well, that's great, but I'm more interested in, can I create a long-term residual income that'll continue long after I'm actively involved? And the only way you can do that is to have it based on a firm foundation of consumers loyal to your products. They will continue to consume those products day after day, month after month, year after year. The products have to really work. Now, the third thing I looked for in this type of company was timing. And I'm going to be real candid with you. When I joined the company about 10 years ago, timing was terrible. Okay, it was a brand new company. We had one product. I certainly didn't join because of that, but I did see an opportunity to be part of a Ken Brailsford company with a stellar product. We were first to market with the very first, you know, moringa oleifera-based nutrition drink. That one product took us from zero to $10 million a year. When we added into that our healthy weight management system, that took us from 10 million a year to 50 million a year. When we added in our clinical grade essential oil line, that took us to 100 million a year. And today we are adding the leading edge, cutting edge product in the CBD oil market, a transdermal delivery system. Let's see here. That's our transdermal delivery system for our CBD market, or our product. We have been in development almost 2 years with this product. We are, you know, light years beyond the market, and we're in the market potential. I believe it was Forbes magazine recently reported that the CBD oil market space in the United States was a $500 million a year business last year, but they're projecting that to grow to over $20 billion in less than 3 years. That's timing. And today we've created an infrastructure where our company literally looks like $1 billion a year company, from the sourcing of our raw materials. We own our own manufacturing facility, a pharmaceutical grade manufacturing facility, literally tens of thousands of square feet of manufacturing, distribution, warehousing, Class A office space. We can ship to over 50 countries in the world today. And we could, at this moment in time, produce well over $1 billion a year in sales of our products, and we're a very small percentage of that. Everything that I looked for to create a career, a legacy income in this industry has now come to fruition under Zija International, yet we're the best kept secret in the network marketing profession. And so gives you a little feel for where we are today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to invite Dee Dee Shaw. Dee Dee, give you a little heads up. I'm going to bring you over to this side of the equation. Dee Dee Shaw has become a dear friend of mine. Hey, Dee Dee, how are you? I'm going to unmute you. There we go. Dee Dee, how are you?
Good.
We're almost twins. We're black on green. Yeah, yeah. And let me just do a quick introduction, Dee Dee. For those of you that are, first-time attendees, or maybe you're part of our brand new distributor base, Dee Dee Shaw has become kind of a legend in Zija. She left corporate America, making a six-figure income, to be a stay-at-home mom. And in the period of time that she did that, you had what, 48 children, Dee Dee?
Not quite.
No, Dee Dee's got a whole passel of kids, but she was looking for a way to maintain that level of income and still be able to stay home with the kids and do the things that were meaningful to her. And I think that speaks to a lot of people today that are, forced to go to work and making a living their priority, as opposed to living their life is their priority. And so everybody that's been in Zija for a while knows Dee Dee's story. She was able to work part-time from home, has built herself to a diamond level distributor. That's one of our significant ranks. And I asked Dee Dee to join me tonight to kind of share a little bit about her story, and in specifically what she's doing right now. Because Dee Dee, last I saw, you were, I think, in like the top 20 or something like that of the leaderboard of people that are producing results, going to our ZIJA ONE Leadership Conference that's coming up in October. So thank you so much for taking time. And I can tell you're not at home, because normally I see chickens and little kids running around and a goat here and there. Where are you tonight?
I'm actually at my husband's office, and it's really funny, Fred, because when I came in the door, they had taken the whole ceiling out and they had their drills. I said, oh, great. I escape one noise and I go to another. But hopefully we're in an isolated area. You won't hear the background of construction.
Okay, well, no, it sounds great. You look good. Thank you very much. Maybe we should start out for a moment. I kind of shared your story, and I hate to take away your thunder. Could you maybe speak a little bit to why was it you were looking for something else when Zija was introduced to you?
Absolutely, Fred. So I was in corporate America for 17 years. Walked away from that because of the stress, because of the size of my family. I don't even remember how many kids I had when I walked away from that, but we were struggling financially. We were pretty close to foreclosure. It was buy groceries or pay the house payment. That's kind of where we were. So I knew that if anything was going to change, we were going to have to come up with some way to change it. It wasn't going to change on its own. The bills were still going to have to be paid. And so I was looking for a way to be able to stay at home with the kids, not have to go back to work, and create a significant enough income that we could maintain the lifestyle that we had while I was at corporate America. And Zija did that for me and more, definitely and more. I jumped on board with the middle package, literally spent our grocery money. Many people have heard that story. I didn't have the money to invest, but I knew the power of having product in my hand to be able to share it with people. And so I did. When we got paid and it was time to go get groceries, I didn't even tell my husband, but I invested in what we now call the gold system. And I literally had all that product pre-sold before it got to my door. I didn't want to eat beans and rice, and I don't want to ask my family to do that either. So that was how I got started. My first paycheck was over $500 because after all those people tried that product, I had them all come to a meeting to learn more, and they all got involved in some way. And so that was how I got my business started. And then I've sort of had to take a back seat, much like you, taking care of your mom. I've spent the last couple of years enjoying residual income, but not spending a whole lot of time on the business. I just didn't have the ability to get out and do what I had done before. We were averaging 4 doctor's appointments a week with my mom. And so I just kind of enjoyed those paychecks that still came in. And my mom passed away at the end of the year, and that was tough. Very thankful to not have to work and still get paid. But the timing of the CBD was perfect, not just in the trend of the market, but for my family, it was perfect. And I've got my square too. And I jokingly say, I know everybody sees the hashtag wear the square. I say hashtag wear the square, hashtag share the square, hashtag become a millionaire, because literally that's what's happening for me and for my team. I've never in my life encountered anything so simple and so easy. And that's really how I'm on the leaderboard. It's not about me. It's about me helping other people that want to develop their own residual income. Last week, I had the privilege of bringing 2 new girls on board that would like to create a full-time income their first week in the business. Then keep in mind, they didn't have product to share with people. Their first week in the business, before they had product to put in people's hands, they were both Builder 500. And we're not talking about going out and selling the business, right? Just sharing the product and what it's done for them. And it's just really exciting what's happening. I can't contain my excitement.
You know, Dee Dee, that it's obvious what you're saying. I mean, that you are passionate about what's happening, and you speak to an issue I think that's really important for so many families to understand. Until you get to that point in time where life happens and you can't work, you don't understand the importance of residual income. And for most people, it never occurs to them to create that second income stream that can continue on whether or not you happen to be working today. They don't think to do that until they need to do that.
Well, that was definitely me, for sure. It's not the way I would recommend it. It's much easier if you have plenty of income while you're building your business, but it definitely is something that can be done. That's, you know, I'm a testimony to that. But I think the passion that I have is seated in helping people, right? I like to help people with their health. That's something that's important to me because I've had health challenges, and everybody knows how passionate I am about the products. But I'm also passionate about helping people who want to be able to stay home with their kids, or just, you know, they're having trouble making ends meet, to be able to share something with somebody that can change their life in multiple dimensions. I can help them get their health back. I can help them keep their house. I can help them feed their family. That's what makes my heart sing. Or I forget how it is that Ken says it, puts a fire in your belly. That's what puts a fire in my belly.
And that's actually one of those characteristics I suggest to people, you know, care more about, you know, your customer and the results they get on your products than you care about the money you make. Care more about your new team members' paycheck than you care about your own. And when that's your philosophy, if your motivation is external to help others as opposed to what can I get for me, that philosophy is what this profession was built on, but it's been lost over the years with, you know, fake Johnny-come-lately companies, you know, get-rich-quick overnight schemes and so on. It's why I was attracted to Ken Brailsford Company, because this is such a powerful business model. and it really does bring out the best in people. We got just a couple of minutes left, Dee Dee. I want maybe for you to explore something in particular for the new distributor or the new people looking at what we're doing and wondering, it all sounds good. I'd love to be involved with a great company. I'd love great products. I'd love to be, hey, how many old guys out there like me wish they could say, I'm 65 years old, I'm in the best shape of my entire life, and I weigh what I did in my early 20s. How many people would like that? Everybody'd like that, right? Here's what I want you to kind of address. This wasn't your first time. You'd been involved in a previous, nutrition-related network marketing company. But when you got involved with us, this is when it really clicked, and you've done something that I correlate one-to-one with your ability to create full-time, significant diamond level income on a part-time basis, was your ability to pick up the system and replicate that through your team. Can you talk a little bit about the difference between what happened before and your success today?
Absolutely, Fred. And I don't share that enough, and I think it's important. I was able to do in 8 months with Zija what it took me 8 years to do in a previous company. And that's when I had all the money to spend, right? That's when I was looking for all the quick fixes. I was signing on to all the programs that would provide you with the leads and that would teach you how to build a business. But I really never understood the system because I didn't have the training. I didn't have somebody to teach me how to build and how to build people. And I really have you to thank for that. But that's something that I think is really important, because you can have a really good company, you can have really good products, but if you don't understand how to grow yourself and how to grow people, if you don't understand how to use a duplicatable system, and teach people how that system works, you can drown yourself trying to swim. And that's what I did in the company that I was with before. I felt like a failure, not because I was failing, but because I didn't have the support system. And I think with Zija, we have a comp plan that rewards people for helping people. You mentioned that, and I think that's important. It's not all about me, how much money can I make? It's about how can I help my team? And when I help my team, our comp plan supports that. Our comp plan rewards that. And when we have a system that is so simple as you don't have to know anything, all you have to do is invite people to take a look. We have all the training in place. We have all the systems in place. So what are they going to take a look at? We have so many things for people to choose from, to share with them. We have these webinars. There's just so much stuff. Nobody could ever say with our system that they don't have the tools, because the tools are all there. All you have to do is be coachable and let somebody teach you how to do the invitation and where to find the presentations. And then you just pick up the phone and connect them with somebody, or do a Zoom meeting like we're doing now, connect them with somebody that knows the answers. And it really is that simple. It really is. Or share the square, let them try it, they'll fall in love, and they'll tell everybody. We even have a system where customers can get their product for free. I don't know.
Oops, what happened here? It looks like we got Dee Dee frozen. You still with me, Dee Dee?
I'm here. Oh. I don't know what happened.
No, you're okay. Yeah, we got you back.
Okay.
You said you don't know anywhere.
I don't know anywhere else that you can find a company. Sorry about that. I had to think about that for a second. Where you have a company where customers can get their product for free just by sharing with other people. It's a pretty cool
it's an incredible time to be part of Zija. You had the opportunity to experience that first little mini growth curve when we brought in the healthy weight management system. You look amazing after what, a dozen children.
Losing 600 pounds.
60 pounds 10 times, is that it?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
But that's nothing compared to what's going to happen here. This is the time we've been waiting for. Dee Dee, can't tell you how much I appreciate everything you're doing, all the support you give your organization and the inspiration you give to the entire company. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us this evening. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Fred.
I'll let Dee Dee go back over to the other side. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this evening was not designed to be an in-depth, white paper on the company, the products, the pay plan. It was designed to give you a little bit of understanding about why Zija is, for many people, been a godsend, and for many more who have never even heard of us, is going to be their path, their vehicle to what their goals are, whether it be health, whether it be wellness, longevity, whether it be to create additional income. For a lot of people, that extra $200 or $300 a week, that $1,000 a month, would change their life. What would it mean to you and your family if you could have been able to create that extra $10,000 or $15,000 of income coming into the family last year? That's the backbone of our distributor base. For others, like myself, like Dee Dee, it's been a way to create a legacy for the family, to be able to control your life. Today, as we speak, I work from home. I care for my 93-year-old mother. It's a 24-hour, 7 days a week kind of thing today. And I have the financial resources to help in the home so I can do this broadcast tonight. So whatever it is that you're looking for, whether it be for your personal, health and wellness, whether it be for creating additional income, or maybe like Dee Dee, being able to create a substantial full-time income that isn't dependent upon you working every single day, that when you need to, you can have that time off. We're here to offer you an opportunity. We're going to go ahead and close out for this evening. For those of you that have been invited guests, I encourage you, the person that asked you to be part of this broadcast or directed you to the replay, they'll be able to give you additional information about our products. They'll give you additional information about the company, how we get paid. And for those of you that are ready to get started, here's what I want you to be aware of. With you or without you, this company is going to grow in size in the next 36 months tenfold. And I'm basing that 100% upon the growth of the CBD marketplace and the fact that we have the only mainstream transdermal system. When you look at what we have compared to what's in the marketplace, and the marketplace is going to grow to $20 billion a year in the next 3 years, you'll understand why I'm saying our company will have a tenfold increase. And if you can get in front of that kind of growth, imagine what it could mean to you financially. Now, if you're ready to get started, I'm personally inviting you to join us again on Saturday morning. We're going to have a new distributor training with one of our company's top income earners, sharing step by step what you need to be able to launch your business, get into profitability right away, and start creating that long-term income. So the person that asked you to be part of this broadcast will get you that information. With that, one last shout out to Dee Dee Shaw. You are so much fun to hang out with, Dee Dee. You make me look cool. Thanks for joining us this evening. And folks, have a wonderful evening. We'll see you Saturday morning for new distributor training. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.